Imagine you're facing the most important financial decision of your life. You're 62. A notice from the Social Security Administration is in your mailbox, and the voice of conventional financial wisdom that's been hammered into us for decades is ringing in your head. Wait, don't touch that money. Hold out until you reach full retirement age, 67, or even better, 70. Your monthly check will be 30% bigger that way. This is the standard advice given by financial advisors and government brochures. But what if I told you that for millions of Americans, this advice is a dangerous trap? What if waiting for the perfect moment is actually robbing you of the most precious years of your life, years you can never get back? In our country, taking your check at 62 is often stigmatized as a sign of financial desperation or impatience. But in reality, for those who can count and value freedom over mythical numbers in the distant future, it may be the smartest move of their lives. We live in a system where pension rules resemble a complex game of poker with the state. And today, I'll give you 7 ironclad arguments why withdrawing your money at 62 isn't just a survival strategy, but a masterful chess move. Reason 1. The mathematics of the break-even point and the time value of money. In American economics, there's a fundamental concept called the time value of money. A dollar you receive today is worth far more than a dollar you're promised in 5 or 8 years. When you start collecting your pension at 62, you start your cash flow immediately. Yes, your monthly check will be smaller, perhaps by 25 or 30%, but you'll start receiving it 60 months earlier. Over those 5 years, you'll receive tens of thousands of dollars, while those who wait won't receive a penny. The math is brutal. For someone who started collecting their pension at 67 to match your total government receipts, you both have to be at least 78 or 79. This is called the break-even point. Are you willing to gamble 5 years of your active life just to start winning this mathematical duel only after age 80? In a world where tomorrow is uncertain, collecting your pension now is the only way to guarantee you'll see it at all. This is your rightful tax refund, the one you've been paying for decades. Why leave it in Uncle Sam's hands any longer than necessary? Take your money when it's most useful to you. Reason 2. The golden decade of health and active longevity. Ask any 70-year-old American what their biggest regret is. Rarely will they answer, "I regret not waiting 3 more years so my paycheck would be $200 bigger." Most will answer, "I regret not starting to travel or pursue a hobby while I had the strength." The period from 62 to 72 is your last years of true full mobility. This is the time when you can still hike the Grand Canyon, fly to Europe, or volunteer without joint pain or shortness of breath. The money you receive at 62 buys you time at a time when it has its greatest biological value. If you wait until 70 to receive the maximum payment, you risk ending up with a lot of money in your account. But the only place you can spend it is on pharmacies and medical bills. Investing in your memories and physical activity at 62 pays dividends that can't be measured in percentages. Freedom at 62 is worth 10 times more than the same freedom at 70. You're buying back your energy while you still have it. This is the period when you can truly enjoy the fruits of your labor, not just pay for caregivers. Reason 3. Strategic protection of your core investment portfolio. Most Americans save for retirement in a 401k or IRA. If you retire at 62 but decide to delay Social Security, you'll have to aggressively withdraw money from your personal investments just to pay the bills. This creates a huge sequence of returns risk. If the stock market crashes in the early years of your retirement and you're forced to sell your stocks to live on, your portfolio may never recover. By using Social Security at 62 as a base layer of your income, you allow your core investments to continue to grow and recover. You withdraw significantly less money from your account, letting compound interest do its work. Over the long term, the growth of your personal investment portfolio can significantly offset the difference in payments you technically lost by taking Social Security early. It's a professional hedge. You're using government-guaranteed money to protect your potentially millions in stock market assets. You create a cash buffer that protects your capital from forced sales at the wrong time. Reason 4. Tax optimization and the fight against inflation. In the U.S., retirement taxes are a veritable minefield. If you wait until age 70 to start taking maximum distributions, your total income can be so high that up to 85% of your benefits will be subject to federal income tax. This creates a tax trap. By starting to take distributions at age 62, when your checks are smaller, you often keep your total income in a lower tax bracket. This opens the door for strategic conversions from your traditional IRA to a Roth IRA with minimal taxes. You're literally buying out your future tax freedom. Furthermore, money received today has maximum purchasing power. Yes, COLA indexation exists, but it rarely keeps pace with real-world increases in healthcare and housing costs. By taking distributions early, you lock in the value of your money in today's goods and services. You can invest them in home renovations or appliances right now, securing a material foundation for decades to come, instead of waiting for inflation-depreciated paper money in the future. This is a tactic for locking in real profits in an unstable economy. Reason 5. Psychological freedom and protection from professional burnout. Many Americans feel completely emotionally and physically exhausted by age 62 from decades of corporate grinding. However, the fear of financial uncertainty forces them to continue working themselves to the bone, sacrificing their health. Paydays at 62 provide what's known in the American financial world as bridge income. This doesn't mean you have to immediately stop all activity and settle into a rocking chair for the rest of your life. It means you gain leverage. You can quit a high-stress full-time job and pursue something you truly love, albeit for less pay. Maybe you've always dreamed of working in a national park, consulting for a few hours a week, or finally turning a long-standing hobby into a small business. An extra $2,000 a month from the government creates that psychological cushion that allows you to confidently say no to toxic management and endless overtime. In our culture, work is elevated to absolute value, but at 62, you have every right to work for pleasure and self-realization, not for basic physical survival. An early start on pay is your personal key to the office door, which you can turn at any moment, reclaiming control of your life. Reason 6. Inheritance and preservation of family capital. This is a critical aspect that is often overlooked by government consultants. If you decide to be patient and wait until you're 70, but unfortunately die at 69 without ever receiving a pension check, all your years of contributions to the system will remain locked up forever. The government won't return them to your family. It will simply close your file and mark your account done. But if you start receiving payments at 62 and invest them wisely, for example, in a trust account for your grandchildren, their college education, or a life insurance policy, you ensure that these assets stay within your family. In the United States, family wealth is built on the wise transfer of assets between generations. By receiving your money early, you become a steward of those assets. You can help your children pay off their mortgage or make a down payment on their home just when they need it most. Seeing the tangible fruits of your financial support during your lifetime and strengthening your family's position is far more valuable than abandoning the elusive hope of an increased payment in the future. You're transforming government obligations into real, tangible family assets that will serve your loved ones for years to come. Reason 7. Minimizing legislative and political risks. We must face the truth. The current U.S. Social Security system is under unprecedented pressure. Official trust fund reports predict serious payment difficulties as early as the mid-1930s. Washington policy circles are constantly debating ideas of raising the retirement age, changing indexation formulas, or introducing limits for those with significant personal savings. When you decide to wait until 70, you're making a huge, risky bet that the rules of the game will remain unchanged for the next 8 years. By withdrawing your money at 62, you're effectively de-risking your old age. You're withdrawing your chips from the system while it's still functioning as usual and fulfilling its obligations in full. This is the highest form of financial sovereignty and personal responsibility, so prized in America. You're transforming your pension rights from political promise to cash under your control. In a time of global economic instability, owning a liquid resource here and now is a sign of strategic thinking. You lock in your profits in the biggest deal of your life with the state, without waiting for the rules to be rewritten to your disadvantage. To summarize this comprehensive strategy, it's important to understand. Choosing to retire at age 62 isn't a sign of weakness or financial illiteracy. On the contrary, it's the decision of a mature person who understands the true value of time and doesn't believe in one-size-fits-all advice. We're used to measuring success by the size of our monthly check, but true success in retirement is measured by the quality and freedom of each day you live. When you combine all 7 factors, from the mathematical break-even point and maintaining health to investment protection and tax optimization, the picture becomes crystal clear. This strategy allows you not just to live out your life, but to actively create your life at the finish line. Of course, every situation in our country is unique. If you feel you have the strength to work into old age, your career is at its peak, and your family history promises you 100 years of life, perhaps waiting will be a worthwhile risk. But for most working Americans whose labor has built the strength of this economy for decades, turning 62 is the perfect window of opportunity. This is the moment when you can and should seize the initiative from the system. Don't let dry tables and forecasts rob you of the life you've been waking up to for the last 40 years. Remember, your pension isn't a handout from the government. It's your personal, hard-earned resource. And using it at 62 is the surest way to guarantee yourself a well-deserved rest and respect for your own time. Do the math, look at your family, evaluate your goals, and make a decision that will make your future not just richer on paper, but more fulfilling in every moment. Your freedom isn't a number on a paycheck. It's your opportunity to wake up in the morning and know that this day is yours, and that day may come much sooner than official propaganda claims. Be bold in your planning, because ultimately, we work to live, not live to work. Your time is your greatest asset. Use it wisely.